Hello, YouTubers. Reloading Bench back with you once again. Since the Dillon 9mm dies, the carbide dies that recently came, I saw something online and I thought I'd do I don't know if I'd call this a comparison, maybe like a product overview of the two. And for those of you who have followed my channel for any period of time know that I'm a Lee fan. I started my journey into reloading with Lee gear, and to this day I still buy Lee gear. So when you order Lee dies, and there's plenty of different offerings, in addition to caliber on the rifle and pistol side, they've got the 3-die carbides, they've got the 4-die ultimate sets that have the factory crimp included. In fact, when I started back in 2010, you could only buy, I think it was a 3-die set, steel or carbide, and then the factory crimp was an extra purchase. So I tried to put together a like set on the Lee side in terms of the product offering as to compare to the product offering from Dillon. So Dillon gives you, if I can open this, so Dillon gives you the box, and I think I just lost a pin, an extra decap pin for when the one that's in here potentially breaks. That's kind of cool. And a little C-clip for if and when that breaks. Again, kind of cool. And these are carbide dies with, very old school. Lee was very similar to this old school ring, lock ring. And I don't know if that's steel. Yes, it is. So that's steel, whereas the Lee lock rings, the old school and the new school lock rings, the current versions, are aluminum. So with the Dillon set, you get the carbide with the carbide 3-die set, you get the decap resizer, you get a bullet seating die, and then you get a crimp die, which is kind of cool. And they don't give you a powder because a powder die, because it's assumed that you're going to be working on one of their stations which has a powder through charging station. And you get your instructions, which tell you what you get: sizing, seat, and crimp, how to mount them for installing, setting them up, and an exploded view. I don't know what the difference is. This is rifle side, this is pistol side. So same thing, one's rifle, one's pistol. So this would be a generic set of instructions, and that is that. And that's about $1.25 currently, at least from reputable places. Obviously, supply and demand. You go to third party like some of the auction sites, and you're going to pay a lot more. The Lee carbide 3-die set, a little bit different in that, same kind of, you got your box. I will say the Lee instructions are a little nicer. I'd give Lee the advantage on that. Back in the day, Lee was all black and white and kind of grainy, but they've upped their game on their pace setter die instructions, how to set each one of them up. You get load data. This particular sheet is for 5.7 by 28, so there's not a lot of load data. And it's, pitching product, but again, pictures, color, nice little presentation. The 3-die set comes with powder charging that you can either use a powder drop measure, or you can hand charge and use a funnel through here. And I think I have an old funnel, so when I do load 5.7, everything is hand loaded, and that works like a charm. So and this is both aluminum, and then steel for the actual die, and then the carbide insert. So you get the powder through charging die. You get a dipper, which is cubic centimeter by volume. I think Lee's the only one who does the dippers still, which are cool when you're doing trickle and or hand charging. Otherwise, not so much. And that's not going to want to come out easy. You get a shell holder. Again, when you think about the Lee model of the presses and the manual presses, the turret presses, the single stage presses, that's where that would come in handy. RCBS used to do it, and then it was an option. I don't think they do it any longer. It's a separate purchase, and obviously not included with the Dillon. You then have a, wow, these are so tightly spun up in here. You have a decap resizing die. The collet and the pin a little bit different. C-clamp here. This collet and the pin is set so that if this hits something like a Berdan primer, it would pop up, as opposed to your standard boxer primers, which aren't crimped in unless it's a military crimp. But again, if there's some resistance or too much resistance, instead of breaking, it will pop up. That's not to say they don't break as well. And then a seating die. Again, nothing fancy, no micrometer, just a twist adjust, and then the carbide insert. Again, die body is steel, carbide insert, and then the aluminum ring. Again, the aluminum rings are quite similar in terms of shape, and the Dillons are a little thinner. And in terms of the seating, since I've never worked with the Dillon, I don't know how easy this is to adjust. I only bought the Dillon set for the seating and decapping, sizing and decapping rather. So I'm not sure how that seat die adjusts, in all honesty. Maybe the insert is raised up. Maybe I should read the directions. Maybe the insert is raised up. Yeah, it looks like you raise the insert and then clip that. So not so on the fly friendly. Again, half a dozen of one, six of another. I'm used to the Lee. I like the Lee. But if you're competition shooting and you need micrometer depth knowledge, this isn't the die for you either. But in terms of completeness, they're very comparable. This one factory crimp, this one powder. Again, they offer a 4-set die that has the crimp. I'm not sure if Dillon offers a 4-die set, but I'm gonna say that when I checked pricing on the Lee, so back when I was buying Lee dies, or when I started buying Lee dies, they were like 30 bucks ish, give or take, maybe 30, 35. And then obviously tax, shipping and handling, and then tax, shipping and handling here. These have been $1.25 for a long time. In my mind, these are $30, $35 dies. I just checked pricing, and the 3-die Lee set now, normal pricing is $57. They're currently on sale at a couple places for like $44. Midway has them for $57 on sale for $44. Titan has them for $57 on sale for $41. These are $1.25. At $35, this was a steal, in my opinion, for depending on what you're doing, for me punching paper, as compared to the cost of the Dillon. People argue you get what you pay for. Some people, really bash Lee on their gear. Can't understand it. It's a great offering. If you want to spend more, get more, do more, either actually or mentally, perception. That's fine too. But I've not had any problems with the Lee dies. But they've gone up considerably in price. So to say. I think the 4-die sets are $78 on sale for $58. So, when you start talking about Lee dies that are $80, 4 dies, let's go with the 3 dies, $57 for the 3-die set versus $1.25 for the 3-die set. The value isn't quite what it used to be, unless Dillon's going to jump their prices up, which in today's age wouldn't surprise me a bit. But back in the day, I would say it was a 3-to-1 ratio in terms of the cost of Lee dies versus other manufacturers. And it's not to say Dillon is an expensive die. either. They just happen to be more expensive than the Lees. You can really go crazy with some of these custom die manufacturers and or higher end stuff. And I'm not saying Dillon is high end, but Lee tends to be more on the value side of things in terms of their pricing model. But they've worked great for me, and I would say 95% of all of my die for what I do, all of my dies are Lee dies, and some one-off stuff for other dies, like the reason buying this for the decap seating die, or excuse me, decap sizing die, powder cop die from somebody else, RCBS lockout die. What else is unique? Yeah, kind of drawing a blank. Maybe some of the bullet feeding die. Again, I've had the Hornady bullet feeding dies, a few of them, and I've abandoned that 9mm Hornady for the Lee inline bullet feeder. So Lee brings value, to each their own. Red versus blue, Chevy versus Ford. It is what it is. Take care.